Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy. This is a crafting channel, mostly cross stitch. I tell you guys that every single time. Here we are. I think I got it, you guys. I'm so excited. It's taken some maneuvering. My phone says I only have 40 minutes to record, which I figured that'd be plenty of time. 2:40. Okay, so I'll just try to pay attention, try to keep it at 30 minutes. So you guys saw, I didn't bring, I'll put a picture here, obviously. I don't think I have enough room on the screen to keep like the tablet in view and a photo of the thing, just because I personally like it when it's a little more zoomed in and I can actually see the stitches. That's just me. I forgot a water. Dang it. I'm not gonna get up. And I can actually see the stitches. So I don't really care to see Pattern Keeper. I get frustrated because I can't actually see what the person's doing when they put their Pattern Keeper on the screen. Like I can see stuff moving around, but I can't physically see what they're clicking. And I don't know, for me, I just don't care for it. So I'm gonna put a picture of the image here. This is, what is it called? Dream of the Wolf Maiden, if I'm not mistaken, by Gloria West from Artecy. Today I'm starting out at 4.05 stitches complete. I mean 4%, 4.05%. I've stitched 2,663 stitches this last week on this, and I'm going to put in some more stitches today. I don't know how many. I've been aiming for 1,000 stitches a day. Only one day I got 1,000 stitches. Another day I only got like 300. Yesterday I got 800, which I realize I have more time on my hands right now than I normally do, so you know, I'm taking full advantage. So I'm trying to figure out where I want to get rid of these stitches that I'm blocking in. And so some of these, like I thought I stitched and I didn't, like this one here, that's why that's there by itself, because I marked it off that I stitched it, and I don't know what I did wrong there, but I obviously missed that stitch for whatever reason. So I'm gonna come up here and do this parked thread and get it done. I'm sorry if you can't see my Pattern Keeper. If you guys want to see that, let me know, and I can, I don't know, make the image smaller. How do you guys like to see it? You know, I've noticed huge uptick in subscribers lately. It's funny though, because my Flosstube still get way more views than my Stitch With Me's. I hope you guys can see. And so, you know, I don't know if you guys even like the Stitch With Me's. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Okay, so let's do some of these that I've blocked in. And then I need to come do that color. That one as well. We'll get it done. But anyway, how's everybody doing? I don't know what day today is. It's Sunday. My hands are not dirty. I was dyeing floss earlier, and so that's why they look so weird. But anyway, I want to get all the floss dyed before I move so that I can take, like have them in an organized way that I can put them in a box to kind of have ready to ship when I do get orders, because I don't plan on shutting down the floss portion of the website. If any diamond paintings are not cleared out by the time I move, I will just remove the diamond painting listings, because I'm not going to be able to ship diamond paintings, because then I need boxes and all sorts of stuff, and it's just too hard to maintain access to all of that, because at this point in time I still don't know what I'm going to be doing with all of my stuff. I don't even know if I'm going to have a place yet. That's part of the reason why I haven't done any Stitch With Me's this past week. I was posting one almost every other day for the past several weeks, between that and my other videos anyway. A video every other day, and I got really down on myself this last week, because so you guys all know I went through a divorce recently, and I just started working. The past 2 years I've had pretty steady employment, and you know, I did what I needed to do, you know, file tax returns and whatnot. Well, Needless to say, my ex-partner had not been filing tax returns. I knew for some years he didn't. There was other years where I was under the impression that there was a return filed. I wasn't working. You know, he's a grown-ass adult. I didn't know I needed to babysit, that type of thing, a lot of those years. And there was no tax return filed. And so, you know, employers report income and things like that. And when you're married, your spouse's debt is your debt kind of BS. And so I got stuck with a lot of back taxes that were not paid. And I fought tooth and nail to try to get some of those dropped because I didn't work. They don't care. They told me I needed to hire a finance attorney, which I do not have the flexibility to do after paying thousands and thousands of dollars in divorce costs. I just cannot hire another attorney to fight for me financially, and it would be moo. Like, any money that I would get would go to that attorney anyway. So I don't see a point in doing that. I might as well just pay it. So anyway, last year I got my tax return. That's how I was able to afford to live on my own, because, you know, it's hard on a single income, single parent, 3 kids type of situation. So I got my tax return last year. And okay, it looks like I stitched some of this already. I got my tax return last year just fine, and no, I didn't. Okay. And I was able to use that to help me move into this townhouse that I live in now, and that helped me pay my rent for the entire year. So I assumed, I already knew that I was going to have to pay some money back. I know how much, things like that. I'm not a complete imbecile, but, you know, I had arrangements and everything made, but I was under the impression, because I already had arrangements made, that they would not be taking my tax return. And I was also under the impression that they would not be taking the additional tax credits for the children, because that's what they did last year. They gave me this children's stipulations. This is too much information. Anyway, they took my entire tax return. That is money that I use to pay my rent for the whole year. I don't make enough money to cover a car payment, groceries, rent, all the utilities, cell phone bill, gas, food, everything in between for everybody. Granted, I do have a couple of luxuries, like my car payment. I didn't have to get into a car payment, but I did want a nice, reliable vehicle. Internet is a necessity because I'm also a full-time student. You know, groceries are obviously a necessity, and the thing that sucks is, you know, they say I make too much money to qualify for assistance with 3 kids, which is fine. You know, I don't mind spending my own money. Obviously, I have to. You know, but I also don't get any help from anybody else. And so it's been a nightmare. So I let that bother me for days. I cried and cried and cried so last year, last year, you know, because they were still doing stimulus payments and stuff, I ended up getting like several deposits from the IRS, and I never knew which was which, because they do it in like codes or whatever, which is fine. You know, in the end, I was ultimately able to kind of figure it out on my own. And so this time, when I saw the code on there, I was like, this cannot be right. You know what I mean? And so I kind of waited, because the deposit came before the website updated. And I kind of waited, and they gave me a teeny tiny little payment compared to what I was supposed to be receiving. They took like 99% of my tax return. I don't know why they wouldn't have just taken the whole thing. They honestly should have, because they're obviously more desperate for money than I am. for them to take that and be like, oh yeah, here's such and such amount, we're gonna take the rest of it. It's very frustrating because I have been busting my butt. I have court documents and tons of paperwork stipulating that I'm to receive, you know, amounts from various people from a certain person that I was not able to receive, including handling the IRS debt that was accrued, and somehow I'm still responsible for it. And because you have to take it to, if I'm recalling this correctly, you have to take it to civil court to get them to pay the money that they owe you, and that you have to hire a different type of attorney. My attorney doesn't do that. I would have had to have hired another attorney, and honestly, like, I'm already done with my attorney. Like, I can't pay him no more, so anything from here on out, like, is going to be because of me, you know. And so anything that happens, you know, like, I can't go back to court for it to force somebody's hand into paying a bill that a judge had already previously ruled that they pay. So because it's not paid, like, you know, it's still there. It doesn't go away. They don't care that you have a piece of paper saying somebody else is going to pay for it. You are still legally responsible for that debt. And so they took all my money. And I'm so frustrated with the whole situation. Right now, as it stands, I'm probably going to go be living with my mom for several weeks, if not months, until I can figure out what to do. I've been so frustrated with the situation that, like, I can't even think straight most days. I let it bother me more than it should. And, you know, it's just money. And that's the thing that frustrates me the most, is, like, money makes the world go round, honestly, and you literally can't do anything about money. And so I get frustrated when, like, you know, people tell me, like, don't let it bother you, don't let it bother you, but it's like, how can I not? Like, that's a roof over my kids' heads. Like, how do I not let that bother me? Like, I work so hard to give my kids everything that they need and some of the things that they want, so that they don't have to physically see the struggle, you know. And I think I've been doing a pretty good job of it so far. But, you know, growing up, like, I saw my mom struggle. Like, my mom couldn't afford anything other than the roof over our head. And half the time, that didn't include groceries. You know, like, I ate at my grandparents' house, and that was fine. They didn't care, you know. But still, like, I try so hard to not let my kids see that. You know, at the same time, like, with the cost of living, like, now, even if I did stay with my mom, like, I still have to buy food for my kids, you know, things like that. So that's something that I'm facing now, just to save a little bit of money and kind of try to get ahead a little bit. Not even ahead, just get enough money that I need to find a place to rent on my own, where I don't need to be staying with my parents. Not only that, but I don't want to be living there by the time school starts, because I don't want to live in that town. You know, and I know, like, I probably sound like a spoiled brat, but honestly, I've been there. I went to school in that town. I don't want to raise my kids in that town, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm a grown adult. I want to do what's best for my children, and I don't believe living there in that town is what's best for them. You know, I'm lucky enough that I do have family that I can lean back on and kind of help me out a little bit. I'm so stressed out. That's why I haven't recorded any Stitch with me's, because I've been so consumed by the stress of what am I gonna do and where am I gonna live, that even though I've been stitching, I've done all this since my last Flosstube, but not my last Flosstube, but, you know, the last time I posted a Stitch with me, because this was a new start. This is what I hate about Ada's. It gets so fuzzy sometimes. You know, it's very frustrating. You know, I don't get any help hardly with the children. And so, you know, it's a lot of stress. You know, I know I'm not the only person doing it. I know a lot of you out there are doing it as well. You know, but trying to find a place to live right now is what is just mind boggling. I cannot believe that people are renting houses for $2,000 a month. I know some of you live in the city where it's $2,000 for a studio apartment. I know it's always been that way in the city, and I'm not talking about that. You know, I'm talking where I live. I live in a more rural place, not city. You know, even still moving to Tucson, like the housing market in Tucson, it was roughly the same as it was here. You know, you wouldn't see rents for $2,000 a month unless it was a giant dwelling, you know what I mean? Definitely not for apartments and things like that. You know, now you do see that regular single family homes now are renting for anywhere between $1,500 and $2,800. 15 isn't bad, but again, I can't pay $1,500 in rent. I don't have the flexibility to pay that. It's crazy. It's freaking crazy. You know, if I can somehow manage to stay at my mom's all of June and all of July, I might be able to save enough money that I can pay $1,500 a month per rent, because then I'll have enough savings built up by that point that, you know, what I do is I save my money and I distribute it over a 1-year period. So I calculate all of the income that I do get, because I'm still a student. So I do get financial aid and grants and things like that. So I save all of that money and I allot myself a yearly like stipend, I guess, how much I can spend in that 1 year with the amounts that I'm getting, because I typically know how much I'm going to get for the following year. So I will calculate it all, and then I will divide it by 12. And I say, okay, this is going to get me from June to June, and I spend X amount only every single month. Don't go over that, and you'll be able to pay X amount of bills. This is wrong. I got this one and this one, and I'll be able to pay, you know what I mean, what I need to pay. And then that also tells me like how much I can pay in rent. Like, so if I do that, I should kind of be able to go a little bit higher in my rent. I'm hoping anyway. Not that I want to pay that much in rent, but I think a year from now I will be in a better place financially, that I won't be struggling as much as I am going to be in the beginning. Why can't I get this threaded? It's just right now getting over this hurdle, and then also like I have to save to actually move over there. The problem with that too is that I'm going to have to move all my stuff twice. Oh, my Lanta, come on. I'm going to cut this off because it's really frustrating me. I'm going to have to move my stuff twice because I'm not going to have a place when I go over there unless a miracle happens. And, you know, I'm going to have to move my stuff over there, put it in a storage or something of the sort, and wait until I'm able to find a place, because as it stands, I cannot currently find a place in Arizona. It's not that there's not places, it's just that stuff that's in my budget and stuff that's actually a good fit for my family. I'm willing to go down to 1 bathroom, but I am not willing to go down to 2 bedrooms, because that will not work for my family. There are 4 of us, okay? I have 2 daughters and a son. It does not make sense to go down to a 2 bedroom. That would leave probably myself without a room. I would not have a bedroom if that was the case, because my kids cannot share. My 2 daughters already share a room. I cannot put a teenage boy with 2 little girls in a bedroom. It just does not work for my family. If you do that with yours, that's you. That doesn't work for me. I'm sorry if this is like super bitchy and completely opposite of what I normally talk about. I'm trying to be as positive as I can in these videos, and you guys are always so positive back with me. And so I just hope that this doesn't come across that way. This is my life right now. Like, I'm so stressed out about everything. It's not even moving. Moving brings about its own stress, you know what I mean? But I've honestly moved so many times that I've been able to do it where it's not as stressful as it could be. I'm the type of person who I like to kind of handle as many things on my own as I can before, like, I need help with something. And so mainly because I don't like people touching my stuff. And the last time that when I moved here, I was bumping heads with a family member who was helping me move, I don't want to say but who didn't understand, like, my need to save all of my things. Like, they just didn't understand, like, why, like, I didn't want to throw food away or why I didn't want to do certain things. And it's like, okay, first, like, not only are these my things, but, like, I've worked hard for these things. And, you know, if I get rid of anything, like, I have to buy it again. Which, I mean, it's not the worst thing, but also it's like, if I have a freezer and a pantry full of food that I know I can transport, why am I going to get rid of it all just because of the inconvenience of having to pack it when it's, say, $500 worth of groceries, just because you can go buy it again and you don't want to pack it? Like, that didn't make sense to me. And so, like, I've gotten good at, like, just packing my things and, you know, doing as much of it alone as I can. I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense, because I know I'm not providing a whole lot of context on that, but that's just kind of how it is. Like, I have family members who are like, yeah, I'm not going to be bothered to pack that. I'll just buy more when I get there. I'm not going to do that. I have 3 kids I'm raising on my own. Like, I don't have an extra $500 in my budget that month that I can just go replace all my food because I didn't feel like packing it all. You know, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I don't know. So this time I'm kind of hoping to avoid that, which is part of the reason why it's going to be so expensive to move, because I plan on doing it all by myself. And I plan on getting my son to help me. If my son helps me, I can pretty much do everything. We don't have any large appliances. The only thing we do have is the washer and dryer, which is the only thing that I'm worried about, which I might just schedule a mover to come and move the washer and dryer for me, pack everything up, and take it to Arizona and put it in a storage until I'm able to find a place. You know, it sucks moving in right now. I honestly can't believe the price of things. So my friend was telling me, well, he's actually my cousin, but he's like a third cousin. I don't know how all that works, but anyway, he was telling me that him and his wife went on vacation recently, and they were talking to some of the locals over there, and they were telling them that the part of the reason why the prices are so ridiculous here is because people from, like, California, when things started getting during COVID, you know, people had extra money, and these people from California, you know, they were like, well, maybe we should move to somewhere else to pay cheaper rent, blah, blah, blah. So these people from California were coming down here to the Southwest and buying properties here because they were way cheaper than they were in California, and then turning around and selling them for more. Then more people came and they started doing that, and everything just started going up and up and up, and there was a shortage of properties because people were doing that. And it's so now, like, they're saying that's why, like, things are so high right now, because of that. And I was like, man, you need to tell these people they need to go back home then. I want my prices to come back down, you know. You know, a regular single family home before used to sell for like $150,000. Now those same houses are going for like $250 to $300. And I just can't fathom spending $300,000 on a basic single family home, 3-bedroom single family home. It is just mind-boggling. How are you guys doing it? Like, I don't get it. Like, I know other cities pay higher, but like, dang, you know? And like all the jobs that I've been applying for, they pay all about the same. Not as much as I'm getting now, but I realize how lucky I got with the job that I have now, because it was just a temporary short-term job, so they were able to pay quite a bit out. But you know, all the other jobs, it's like, how do these people expect people to make a living? You need 2 incomes, but it's like not everybody has the luxury of having 2 incomes. Like, and I don't have like a family member who would want to move in with me. Not only that, but I already have 3 kids. So, you know, the 3 kids is like, I already need the 3 bedrooms, you know, like I'd have to get a bigger house, which makes the cost go up more. And, you know, not only that, but I don't know anybody that I'd want to live with anyway. Like maybe my little sister, that lives in Arizona already, but you know, even then, like, she's kind of wishy-washy, and I don't know, like, if she would actually want to do that anyway, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about that because it's frustrating for me, and it really just causes stress. So I've been trying to kind of like forget it. The kids and I have been going for tons of walks, a little bit of shopping, not much because, you know, I can't really afford to go shopping anymore. But, you know, I took them to the Dollar Tree and they had a blast, which we used to do before anyway. They love the Dollar Tree. And then, we went and saw Sonic last weekend. I'm going to see, maybe I'll take them to the movies again. My son was saying he wanted to watch that one movie. What the heck is it called? With the dogs and the snake and the... I don't know. The thing is like they're driving a car. I don't know. Some other kind of movie like that he wants to watch. So I was thinking of maybe doing that. You know, that's one of the things that I'm kind of looking forward to about Tucson is there's so many parks over there. Like city and state parks that you can go walking around essentially for free. You know, you might have to pay a couple bucks entry for a parking pass or whatever, but you know, you just everybody take a small backpack, put some food and snacks in there, you go have lunch, you know, things like that. I'm super looking forward to that because my kids absolutely love taking walks and kind of hanging out outside. So I'm really looking forward to that. You know, we'll see how it goes. Man, I've been seeing a lot of, what the heck is going on here? Okay. People falling down the full coverage rabbit hole. I have been down the full coverage rabbit hole forever, but my problem is that, like, I have way more full coverages than I stitch on, which is really weird. You would think that I would stitch more full coverage given how many I have. I have at least 30 Heaven and Earth charts. And then I think I have 9 Artecy charts now that I just got all this week. 5 of them were free before you come after me. And the other 4 I did purchase. So in April, I don't know when this video is going up, it might already be over, but in April, Artecy had a, what is it called? 20% off sale the whole month of April. So I took advantage of that. And then also Artecy has free patterns every month. They have 2 free patterns on their website. And then there's like 70 some free patterns in their Facebook group. And I don't know how often they come out with the Facebook free patterns. I know on their website you get the 2 free patterns every month. And it's usually towards the second half of the month. And in their Facebook group, I don't know how often they come out with those, but like I said, there's already like 70 some. And people's tastes change. So maybe the first time you don't like one and then you go back later and you do see one that you like. You know, even me, I don't know, I like to say that I'm picky, but I don't know if I am all that picky with all the different types of charts that I have. I don't essentially know if I'm that picky in my charts. I don't know. So yeah, I didn't get as much done as I wanted to get done in this stitch with me, but you know, at full coverages you tend to stitch a lot slower anyway, because you know there's less color blocking and things like that, but that's okay. You know, how many stitches did we get done so far? 94. So I guess we're gonna say about 100, because let's see, I'm gonna finish this section right here and then I'm gonna wrap it up, because I only had, I think, 40 minutes to talk to you guys, because I have 45-minute Flosstube that I haven't edited yet that I filmed this morning. So I'm gonna edit that and then this one. Otherwise I would break this up into 2, as I try to do, to put one on my Patreon, but I have other videos that are going to go up on Patreon hopefully this weekend too, that I already edited and uploaded this morning as well. I didn't have any space on my phone, so yeah, it kind of forced me to edit all the vlogs and the uncensored videos that I had on there. So yeah, I don't know if this thread's going to be big enough to finish the section that I wanted to finish. I hate that. Yeah, I cut my threads a little bit shorter too than I normally have them. I showed it in my Flosstube what I did. So if you guys are curious, I'm kind of changing thread out more often than I would normally, but also, oh man, like look at how many threads I actually have parked, because I'm not changing, I mean, because I'm having to change my floss more often. Oh, come on. Because I'm having to change my, not change my thread, but I run out of my thread faster. No, cat. So it causes for less, don't come up here, I'm stitching. Less need to park, because I don't have extra thread hanging out, you know. My cat, I woke up late this morning. My son has a late start on Wednesdays, and oh my gosh, come on, get down. My son has late start on Wednesdays, and so Wednesdays I tend to run a little bit later. And at 8 o'clock he was like meowing, 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 because he knew that I needed to wake up. He was like, woman, get your ass up, come on, you're late. And then I finally got up. I was like, this cat, like, he already knows this schedule. It's crazy. He is so annoying too. I don't even know, like, he doesn't let you cuddle with him, but he constantly wants to be in my lap, constantly wants to be in my face. Like, I don't get it. He's just a trip. But anyway, I'm gonna finish up these stitches and then wrap you guys up, because I might not even keep this voiceover. I mean, the talking in this part of the video, I might go over it. It depends on how bitchy I sound. We'll see. So if you're hearing this, me talking about me being bitchy at the end of this video, then I didn't change it. So you guys got lucky and you get to hear my rant about everything, about life. No, I was telling my sister-in-law about my ex-sister-in-law about everything, and she was like, oh my god, like, I'm so sorry, you know, like the usual type of stuff. And she's like, you know, she says, I believe, and what I've experienced is when you go through a hardship like that and something very negative happens to you, it's because something better is coming. And I was like, you know what? Thank you. Like, I appreciate you bringing that to light for me. Like, maybe I just needed to hear that. Like, I need to take a step back, take a breather, not be so negative. Because I tend to honestly be more negative about things, especially when something happens, something that I've been looking forward to or excited about, and then it changes. I'd like to look at all sides, right? So that I'm not disappointed or let down. But, you know, in this instance, it was something that, you know, I really needed, you know, and so I kind of took a step back and I was like, you know what, like, maybe she's right. And it's funny because my horoscope, that day I hadn't read my horoscope, and later on when I decided to read my horoscope, it literally said almost the exact same thing. And I was like, oh my god, like, okay, like, you need to just take a breather, do some stuff. That's around the time I started this chart, and look at all the amazing progress I made. So I'm super excited about this chart. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go because it's about time. It's gonna run out anyway. Thank you guys for listening to me bitch and complain, and I will catch you guys in the next video.